this podcast now. I hate it. Welcome to the Brown Bricks podcast, the most amount of fun you can have while listening to a podcast.
A bit of a hot mic moment there. Oh
Yeah.
no!
Yeah. No!
Oh no! They're gonna hear what we really
doing
do.
it live.
Yo, fuck the audience members. They're fake.
We're really taking you guys for granted.
Jesus H Christ!
exploding your eardrums.
Stop listening.
I accidentally, because sometimes near the end I just kind of scrub through to make sure you didn't burp anywhere, and I missed a burp in the last episode.
Nice, yeah.
But I kept it in. I didn't go back and edit it because I'm like, that's on me.
That's on you.
That's a loss on me. So,
well, finally, our listeners will have been able to hear one of my illustrious burps.
Email us at brownbrickspodcast@gmail.com telling us what you thought of Jackson's burp last episode.
yeah, I'm sure they loved it.
Or if you have like one of those fetishes where you get put in a trash bag and they suck all the air out of it, and you turn into like a trash bag monster.
I thought it would just
You
be
like
hot.
vacuum seal a guy?
Yeah.
So you can like sous vide him? That's what you have to do to sous vide things. You get it?
I don't know what sous videing is.
Sous
because
vide.
I'm not a chef.
Well, it's funnier if you
Yeah,
know.
I assume the guy's dead either way. It's not like
No, you get a little tube
Oh, okay.
in your mouth so you can breathe.
I just think getting sous vide.
Doesn't that ruin the vacuum?
I saw a video. It was like it wasn't like a trash bag, but they had like a little cube, and it was like a tesseract. But on the inside of the tesseract was a guy who was like vacuum sealed into it. So like his arms were going up into the corners, and his like knees were going into
he was
two
like
of the corners.
awkwardly pressed into it.
No, it's like a big cube, and he's like hanging in the middle of the cube.
No, he looked really cool. It wasn't awkward.
He looked like he was having a good time in there.
Well, I
Seamless.
think he was moaning and the person was like flipping him over onto like different sides of the cube.
That's cool.
And he was enjoying it.
Would you want that?
No, it seems really claustrophobic and scary.
I think it'd be like a big blanket.
There are
It'd be like
times
two
where you
big
come
blankets.
across a fetish and you're just like, I can't even begin
This is
to relate to this.
I
There's
think-
other ones where it's like, you know what, that's not for me, but like on
But I
some
get it.
level, I can see how that becomes
Yeah.
sexual for someone.
The what's it called? I think we've been over like the giantess thing where they eat you.
the vor.
The vor stuff.
Yeah, I think
No,
we've talked
there's
about
like-
that
there's like-
before.
I think we've discussed that at
There's
length.
because what I don't understand is like when the guy's in the cube, he's vacuum sealed in the cube, and he's being turned around. Is he coming? Is he coming in his vacuum seal? Like
Maybe he just tricked him into getting in there.
because you can see his dong is vacuum sealed. He's not hard.
I mean, I imagine with a lot of these guys who get off to this, you know, if you told them like, hey, do you want to get vacuum sealed in this cube? They'd be like, no, I just like porn of it. So it doesn't matter
Really?
if he's
You
coming.
think?
They just like looking.
You think that's why?
I don't think they'd willingly vacuum seal themselves in a cube.
I might just for the feeling, but
to try it out.
I wouldn't.
to see if
It's
it's
not because
cool.
I'm sexually aroused by it. I just think it would be
Well,
neat.
another aspect I really liked out of it is that they had to like make this contraption to work specifically for this function. So you have like people come over to your house and they're like, "What's the big plastic cube over
Like
there?"
contractors.
what's going on with that big plastic? Oh,
I think what's funny is that there was probably a couple iterations where he's like, it's not working.
Oh, yeah, it's
as
not
intended.
right.
And so he has to like ship it back, and they're constantly like going back and forth.
they're
and
going to
like,
the Home Depot to pick up some new PVC pipe
Just
to
like,
build a
getting
new cube.
fucking pissed while you're assembling like your vor cube. Just being like, fuck, god damn it. I've been trying this. These
Yeah.
instructions are shit.
you drill a hole in the wrong
The
place, and you're
IKEA.
like, well, this entire bar is ruined.
You're
now.
calling. You're like, it doesn't work. You gave me a bro. They're like, have you tried this? He's like, yeah.
Yeah,
Can you
I
try it
did.
one more time? He does it. It starts working. He's like,
It didn't work just a minute ago.
Did you turn your vacuum cube on and off again?
I feel so stupid.
Yeah. Oh, it was oh my god, I'm so
No, you don't
sorry.
understand. You got to get our vacuum cube app. And
Oh.
like, every
fuck.
every fucking thing these days doesn't work without its own goddamn app.
And you got to sign up like with your Google account. It's like, I know they're stealing my fucking data, but like nothing I can do about that.
I gotta get off something.
You got to make an account with them, and you got to use your phone number to
Yeah.
sign up. And you're like, What? Come on. I know you're already on my whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
I already have the cube.
The guy's like halfway vacuum sealed, and he had to stop to like download the app and get it all right.
Oh, the guy getting vacuumed.
Yeah,
has to
he's
get that?
got
Yeah.
his legs in already. and-
Yeah, he's almost sealed up, so it's like kind of hard to move, but he can still twitch his thumb to get all the app stuff.
I kind of feel like that's like the kind of fetish that would come about when you play in like one of those big hamster balls as a kid, and you're like, I want to be a bubble boy, but a tighter bubble.
I always did want to have a big ball to just like run down the street in.
Be like Juggernaut.
I guess
Just
like
fucking smash a house.
well, what's interesting is that like I see the appeal in a lot more of these fetishes than like the appeal of like running around in a big hamster ball. I'm like, what would I
What?
do in there?
You don't understand the appeal of a big hamster ball at all?
I
You
understand
run,
the
and then
appeal
it
of, like-
carries your momentum.
I understand the
You
appeal of like
roll.
putting it
Smack
on
your head
water,
against
and then you can like walk on water, and that's kind of cool. But I don't understand the appeal of like having it in a residential area. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
I think I feel like there was a time where we played like soccer with one of those, or it was like soccer with like big ball things around you, so you could like run into each other super.
Well, that's
fucking hard.
different. That's like
yeah.
that's like you can keep all your momentum, but you can just like tackle people. That I understand. But with the ball, it's like harder to move around. You just like encumbered your movement, so it's not like free.
Yeah,
I would understand the appeal if someone threw me down a hill in that ball, because
I
then it would
I
you'd be
feel
like
like you'd
bouncing
die.
around. But then it would just, I don't know. Maybe I just really want to get into like a really high intensity car crash and just like
or
spin
maybe
a bunch.
maybe you have like one of those like fucking Vitruvian Man style situations where you're like suspended inside the ball by your arms and legs, and so when the ball rolls around,
Yeah.
you're like spinning upside down and shit.
It's for your back. It's
You're
to,
spinning
it's just-
along different planes. That'd be awful.
and you can't
You would puke, yeah.
yeah, and you have it, and someone just brings you to like a skate park and just like pushes you down, and you go in like the half pipe. And everyone says that dude's pretty rad.
Yeah, why
That
isn't
dude's
Tony Hawk
pretty
doing any of
tubular.
that shit?
That would be funny if like skateboarding didn't take off, but the Vitruvian ball
big
thing.
ball.
Vitruvian ball.
So
Ball
every-
rolling.
and you have all the you have like the same like skater kids where they're like going around and going on half pipes, but instead
It's the same culture.
it's like that sick bro, and they're all just hanging out in their balls.
Just rolling around,
And
getting really nauseous.
it's like skating.
You would take up way more space.
It's like skating is not
They
a
just
crime.
go to the park, roll around on the grass.
Yeah.
They're like,
Yeah.
hell yeah, bro, that was sick, bro.
Wow.
And all the cops are
They're
like,
making
Correct.
they're making videos with like skater music over them.
like six trick, and you just
Just
see
these
a guy
guys spinning around, so dizzy.
just Vitruvian ball bouncing on different things. Like, whoa.
Yeah, he's thrown up on the inside of its ball on his ball, and it's smeared everywhere.
Finally, in 2010, the Vitruvian ball spectacle became a part of the Olympics and has been a part of it every year.
I've watched that shit, dog.
Oh yeah, there's like Thrasher merch, but they're all just wearing that in
I
there.
saw a guy wearing a Thrasher sweatshirt last night, but it was written like it was supposed to be like Japanese katakana.
Oh.
And I'm like, that's fucking stupid.
That is
that shirt sucks.
That's like whenever I see the people who use like the face that just goes like but it's using the Japanese character that's like two slashes on the side. That's I hate that because I'm like, there's something about that where it's like you liked that so much that you have that
The
like
emoji.
saved in your notepad app or something, and then you like copy paste that to like reply to me. Like that's embodying your feelings so much that you can't use any other emoji.
I didn't know what the emoji OTL meant for the longest time.
I didn't realize that was
I didn't
an
know there was
emoji.
emoji.
It's OTL. So the O is the head,
Yeah.
the T is the body, and the hands to the ground, and the L is the legs down. So he's like facing. He's like doing
Oh,
downward
he's kneeling.
dog.
He's kneeling.
He's collapsed to the
Oh.
ground.
Oh, okay. I kneel. I kneel
I just
for
thought
the OTL.
it was a thing people were saying.
I thought it
online. was
stood
like
for
OTL.
something I didn't
Yeah.
understand.
Offline TV.
Yep, you
Good
Yeah.
nailed it.
That's a good
Jack,
one.
big offline TV fan.
Yeah.
I don't.
Biggest OTV stand we got.
I love TV.
I love
Matlock.
Nick Pollum, Milena. I don't know who else.
Offline
is on
TV.
Online TV.
I don't know any of those fucking names you just said. and
Offline
that makes
TV
me
is
very
when I
happy
watch
with myself.
DVD box sets that I have at my house.
That's a good point.
As
Yeah, that
opposed
is
to-
what that is.
Yeah.
Offline TV is when Jack doesn't have internet, so he looks at all the hentai pictures he has on his phone.
Offline TV. I'm a big fan. Just scrolling through.
I'm a
porn.
big fan of that.
Yeah.
Now that I can get into.
Now that I get, and then you like watch one offline TV stream. You're like, I don't get why people watch this. Yeah.
It's because they don't have friends, Jack.
You know who does have friends?
They don't
Who
have
has
people to talk
friends?
to. Who has friends?
Is it women?
Is it
women
is it
we're
Andrew
fans
Tate?
of?
Let's see.
Jordan Peterson,
It's
perhaps?
probably not Steven Crowder.
It's probably not. Oh, that's Steven Crowder shit.
Steven Crowder has actually a lot of friends because the right wing is weird because they like to circle the wagons,
Mhm.
whatever shit like that happens.
Well, it's a ring of grifters.
'Cause they're all also
they got each
prob-
other's back.
They're all also probably abusing their wives, so they're
Mhm.
like, "Well, we got to stay with our boy. Like, we need to see."
We gotta see the rest of the footage of this
Yeah.
man talking to his pregnant wife in the worst tone, in the whiniest fucking
Yeah.
tone I've ever heard a man
Also,
use.
like,
Literally throwing a fit. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, we only have one car. And he clearly only has one car because he like wants to stop his wife from going anywhere. Like that's obviously what
Yeah, why would you not have two cars?
if you're like a millionaire, you
Yeah.
don't
You're just an emotional abuser who wants
Yeah.
to exert control.
and you're pregnant wife and he got like the chest pop out surgery because it's like vanity and he could have gotten that any time, but like while his wife was like in the middle of her pregnancy, he's like, I'm doing this shit, and so he got the chest pop out
Mhm.
and he's just sitting there like
Pecus excavatum
Yeah.
surgery.
And then the wife's like, it says our dog medicine. I can't apply it because I'm pregnant, and it says pregnant people shouldn't apply this dog medicine. So can you do it? And he's like,
Put the gloves
put
on.
the fucking gloves on.
Put the gloves on, woman.
Put the gloves on, or it gets the dog medicine.
Do you love me? You'd put the gloves on
You'd
and
put the gloves
give
on
my
if you
dog
loved me.
the
medicine.
medicine on the dog, or you get the Uber again.
You get the Uber to go buy groceries. Just fucking Uber the groceries to your house.
No, that's too much work. It's you have to make it so your pregnant wife has to do that. But it's also something where the way that conversation was shown, it wasn't something where she was like holding on to that for a while. It was clearly like she went into a Ring doorbell and she's like, "Oh yeah, we had that conversation last week. That was really bad." It's like this happens all the time for them.
Yeah.
And so this wasn't like I got you. It was like, "Oh, this happened like a couple of weeks ago," and she was just like, "Oh, that one was pretty bad," and she just like threw that out because she was like, "Yeah, this is clearly like a pattern of abuse."
Well, that was like more than 2 years ago now.
Oh, okay.
Because that happened when she was pregnant. Their kids are like 2 now.
Oh yeah.
And
unfortunately, she can divorce, and
well,
there's
she did.
it only takes one person to divorce in Texas.
She divorced him
Yeah.
after.
Oh yeah, dude. His response. to that
Oh
was
god,
so
that's so
fucked up.
funny. He's been claiming that because the divorce has been happening for a while, but you can go back and there's like clips of him talking about how like women shouldn't be allowed to like have
Yeah.
no reason divorces, and it's like there's a very obvious reason why you're being divorced. there.
Also, there's no such thing as a no reason.
yeah, what
divorce.
would
Yeah.
that
These
even
women
be?
are coming out and being like, you know,
I'm
Yeah, I'm
bored.
just bored of
I
this.
thought I get divorced.
I still
Yeah.
like you, and like I want to
I
still
still
be together.
love you. I want to live with you. I want to raise our kids
Yeah.
together.
But I don't.
But
be married.
let's not be married.
Women don't get divorces. Like I download like mobile apps that I see, and I'm like, that looks kind of fun. Like that little knife
Yeah.
game looks.
Just thought
kinda fun.
about doing a quickie divorce here and there. We can get remarried. We can do another marriage.
Hey,
We could
after we get divorced, why don't we do a marriage just for the hell of it?
Yeah, no, there's always a reason behind it. It's just the idea that it's like, oh, how like no reason divorces are more like we're not going to ask you questions because that feels like probing, and the more like if we put more impediments in your way, that just means that your insane husband can like block that in more ways. So if you come to a guy and say,
Yeah, like what would like if you had a law surrounding like no reason divorce? What would a bad reason be for getting a divorce?
Yeah.
you don't like them. That's
I
a
want to
good
steal
reason.
their stuff. I've gathered all their stuff in my bag, and even then, it's like that's a bigger problem. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. The entire
Should have
thing.
gotten a fucking prenup. That's the law.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, bro. I'm just down. Like my wife divorced me for no reason.
For no.
For no reason.
And unfortunately,
Really
it just
upsetting.
takes one
Just-
of
there
those
wa-
people.
there was-
She just divorced me out of nowhere for no fucking reason
he
at all.
clarified in like one of his videos. He's like, there was no abuse. There was no physical abuse. There was no like real reason.
I did
the kids
destroy
weren't
her in
involved.
the mental battlefield, but that's
Constantly.
I debate lorded the shit out of my
She
wife.
has yet to change my mind on any of the issues she presented. She has yet to change my mind on whether or not I should give her the car so she can go buy groceries.
Yeah, this dumb bitch tried to stop me while I'm smoking a cigar and chilling in my backyard with the beer and tell me to fucking. She's gonna take the car. Oh, I'm trying to go to my parents' house.
Oh, the dog's sick. Do the dog medicine. I'm pregnant. I can't. Bitch.
dumb
Shut the
fucking.
fuck
Shut the
up.
fuck
You know,
up.
okay, you don't get the car.
Yeah.
You don't get a car.
Yeah, his excuses
dog
for
med-
wanting the car is so funny. What if I gotta go to my parents' house?
Yeah.
I can't see my friends. I can't go to the gym. You gotta do all three of these things, motherfucker. You're sitting down
I also-
drinking a beer.
I also like that he is just like there's something about like the bro mentality of a lot of these guys where they're like, obviously, like my wife's the most important thing, but like when you actually see how they interact with their wives, it doesn't even seem like they like them. They're
No.
like they're guys who just want to hang out with their bros and then
Have a
and then
bitch
also
that
have a wife.
makes them a sandwich.
They want
literally
someone
just
who
someone who does their
cleans.
chores
Yeah.
and babies them.
Yeah.
It's their
and
mother.
puts the
too.
medicine on the dog, or it gets the Uber again.
Yeah, it's like it's your dog, man. Do you like that dog?
Do you want to?
do the medicine?
Well, it's like, hey, I can't do this because our
What's
child.
not a wifely duty in his eyes? Like, what's a duty that he has to do that's not a duty that the wife should do? Because
Make it
putting
money.
putting
That is all he would
yeah,
do.
like
hunt.
filming racist videos for YouTube.
That is, he's like, that's the worst part. Because a lot of those ones where it's like, okay, they got together and then the guy became like insanely rich. He's like, you have no idea how much you rely on me. But then like, so he views himself like giving her millions of dollars as like, I can do anything I want to you. But then she's like, well, then I don't want to be with you anymore. Like,
She didn't marry him when he was like wealthy.
yeah, it's like, or even then, it's just like, I don't want. This isn't worth $1 million a year, or like,
Yeah.
if I can't have my own car, if that's what we're dealing with, then it's like, I don't want to be with you.
What's the point of success if we're not sharing it?
Yeah, or you're
not sharing it with the person you love,
You just
supposedly.
He just shared it with his mom and his boy.
Yeah.
There's
And hopefully his dog's all right.
Steven Crowder's.
I hope Steven Crowder's dog dies.
Yeah,
That's on the right.
don't think
I'm putting
that-
a head out on
I don't think his
Steven
dog
Crowder's
deserves-
dog.
if you bring us Steven Crowder's dog dead, it can't be alive.
$100.
$100.
Damn.
I'll sweeten that. I'll throw in an extra $150.
Holy shit, this bounty's climbing.
Yeah.
John Wick.
You
on
gonna
this
throw any
dog.
money on that, Jackson?
No, I was wishing the dog well, so I think I'm not gonna go back on that.
All right. Well,
Then you
email
don't-
us at brownbrickspodcast@gmail.com if you think the dog should die or not.
I'm gonna be like the old guy who helps out the dog in John Wick. This is a bad metaphor.
Yeah.
Does he die in that movie? I haven't seen John Wick. But an old
Just-
guy feels like he'd die.
There's a couple old guys that help John Wick out.
It's good to have him die.
Yeah,
That's fucking awesome.
I know.
I should watch this movie.
Old people
I
die.
love old people dying.
I would watch a movie of just hours of old people like confused, having their last breaths. Like, where am I?
Yeah, why isn't anyone? Maybe they have a horror movie set in like a retirement home, but like in the section of it where they all have like Alzheimer's and dementia.
Oh,
So they're
What's
crazy.
the plot?
It's just you get to watch old people run away from a monster. And you're like, I don't know if it's real or if they're crazy. But then you you'd have to have like a hot nurse character
Yeah.
who's your kind of eye. Into
do
the
like
story.
how just
It's how it
inherently-
would be made.
There's no way that like an old person can carry themselves.
No,
through
they
a
wouldn't
movie.
do that. No,
It's
I think
like-
you could. That'd be a cool movie, but
Old, just a
That'd
bunch
be
of
a cool
confused
movie.
old people.
well, maybe just like the least confused, most relatable old person You know, maybe
Maybe Ari Aster.
they just got put over there and it was unfair, and they're surrounded by all these Alzheimer's dementia people, and they're saying shit about monsters. He's like, "Whoa, monster, that's scary."
I like
demons and monsters.
demons.
Like those ones over there.
Yes. I think that it would be funnier if they were all the same level of just paranoid and gone. Like it was just like it was just talking to them about like putting them together in a room.
Yeah, you don't give the audience like anyone to latch on to.
No, it's
like,
just
this person knows what's going on.
like you give the audience the feeling
It's just
of like
old people being tormented by demons.
have you ever been into
That's
like
that's a movie.
This is a strange film.
have you ever like been to like a retirement home and you've like sat there and you're like talking to like your grandparent and you're like, I just want to leave. Like there's like this feeling of like awkwardness and like like I don't like that's the feeling I want to get throughout this entire movie where it's like whoever's watching it is just like I don't want to be here.
I kept meaning to watch that Skinamarink movie. I feel like that's like the vibe that's kind of trying to give off to.
That vibe is the vibe of Skinamarink is like you're lost alone as a child in a grocery store.
That's
how it
scary.
feels. It is legitimately very scary. It's just like it's like a purely vibe based movie. There's not really much to get out of it other than that.
That's
but
fine.
The vibe is like so immaculate.
Well, this would also be a vibes based movie where you're like
you're
like sitting there and you're casually overhearing like a dull conversation and you're just like
oh my fucking god.
So,
and they still
which would honestly be very bad for a movie.
I don't know.
I think this thing's got like.
I think we could at least try it.
I think we got a hit.
And we advertise it as like a horror movie on Shudder, where it's like they're doing things that have never been done before in cinema.
Yeah,
it's just four old
revolutionizing people what horror even means.
It's one old person who tells the same story 3 times within the course of the movie.
Yeah,
just the camera going in and out
if
of
you
focus.
don't respond with kind of like polite affirmations that you're listening, the movie pauses.
Whoa, this is getting...
when it pauses, the old people all look at you wherever they are on the screen.
Ooh,
turn around.
That's cool. I like that.
And you're about to like turn it off, and whenever you like forward it to a different one, the old people are like following you around the screen. You're like, I want to leave. You just have to finish the conversation.
They go, you can't fast forward this. This is a live stream. We're watching you. We're talking with you, and you're like, oh my god.
This requires a whole new form of technology.
I know.
Have you guys seen any of that Fishtank stuff that is going on?
No.
Yeah, I go to the zoo all the time, man.
Yeah,
there's
bro.
like
I'm just sitting there zoning out,
I
watching
love
the fish.
Sturgeon.
Well, it's like
I think sturgeons are fucking stupid looking.
I think it's like Sam Hyde, and he just like has brought together like 8 like people who are really not okay, and he's pretending to have a reality show with them. But all it is that like people can super chat to like take people's beds away and like just like super chat to like have things go over the intercom, and it's a nightmare. And it's like I was just thinking about that, but for old people with Alzheimer's, where you just have the ability to like fuck with them,
donate in.
So you could be like, "Oh, I'm just gonna take."
See, like that's the difference. Is like we make a joke, like, "Wouldn't it be funny if you did that to old people?" He's doing this.
Just does it, and then
when you
like,
say not okay,
cruel.
I'm assuming they're people who are maybe like a little mentally ill or like
they're like people who like some of them are like hardcore Andrew Tate followers with like a lisp.
I imagine a number of anti-Semites are involved.
I think only at the production level. Most of the chicks are just like, they're just like not like they should not be filmed 24/7 with people screaming obscenities at them through a live stream. That's the kind of
sounds so uncomfortable to watch.
It's like regular people, but like people who it's like, oh yeah, they're kind of like fragile people, and then it's like, no, let's put them in the most toxic environment.
Well, Germa's already done this better with Germa's Dollhouse. So.
Yeah, but because you had just him, they were kind of just like fucking with him, and then he's like down for it. But they're like, oh, it's gonna be like a fun, like it's gonna be like Love Island. It's like no, you signed up for the wrong.
Cruel.
Yeah, you signed. You didn't
mean.
You didn't realize who. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. But with old people, is just like the ability to super chat. And you can just like yell at them things, And they're like, we don't know what's going on. So all the old people think that like there's a ghost that's just yelling obscenities at them. And you could super chat to take their bed away. So then they come back. They're like, where's my bed? It's like, you said you didn't want it. It's like,
let's tell old people with Alzheimer's or whatever that they want a free cruise and put them in our bathtub.
You think that would work?
Yeah.
I think you could get a bunch of them in there.
You're cramming
How
them.
many fucking old people
You're cramming
can
them
get
in?
the bathtub?
I don't know. It depends how big they are.
Yeah,
Depends on
true.
how
Old
motivated.
They have a wide variety of body types. You get those old people where it's like, how are you alive? Because they're so small.
Yeah,
But then you get the ones who've like fused to like a chair, and like they've kind of just slowly been expanding over it.
Which the question is also, how
Like
are
a
you
mold.
alive?
Like like a fungus.
There are very few old people where I'm like, it makes sense that you're still kicking. Like most old people, it's just like, how are you? How are you still?
Yeah, I mean,
Well, I mean that's the problem with deteriorating is like it's not like
it's not
a wound.
instantaneous.
It's just like my every day all my shit's just a little bit worse until it's not good enough anymore. And that's
yeah.
just watching that happen.
That is the worst part about aging is that there's this like lack of control about it where it's like, yeah, as much as you try to be healthy and you try to like eat well, eventually it's just going to be like your body's just going to break, and then you're not going to be able to remember what you had for breakfast.
Wow, this got really sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Speaking
Let's
of
move on
speaking
from
of
that.
Speaking of things that are sad,
speaking of invalids though, have you heard about this Nicholas Rossi
Oh
situation?
my god, I love this shit so much. This is like my favorite news story
let me
recently.
know what it is.
Oh yeah. Do you
Okay,
want-
I can give the breakdown. I watched the True and On episode about it, but so there's a man whose original name is Nicholas Rossi. I'm pretty sure that's his original name.
There's a couple, I can't remember which
Yeah,
one.
there's a couple names he goes by. But anyways, back in 2012 or some shit.
Yeah.
He did a little bitty rape up in Utah.
Oopsie.
and actually, I believe he did a number of rapes, and
was
they
like
were
6.
occasionally reported on to the police. And eventually, the heat got too much that he skipped town and moved to New Jersey under a new name, Nicholas something or other. It's a new last name, but that's what he called himself, and so now he lives in New Jersey. And so,
New Jersey, new man.
Hell
in New
yeah.
Jersey, he goes back to his old rapey ways, and eventually the heat
Not
gets
a
a
new
bit
man.
too hot there. And literally, like right before the cops are about to get him, it's reported in the newspapers that he has died. That this Nicholas man is dead. And so
It was a really tragic end to that
everybody
story.
thinks that he is a dead man, but then he is discovered again in Scotland.
Well, not him.
Scotland.
Someone
Well,
else.
a man,
probably.
a man who
A
bears
man-
a striking resemblance to this man.
and has all his
what is
same
the name of
tattoos.
this man?
This man's name is Nicholas Brown / Arthur Knight.
Yeah.
Arthur.
I think he's going by
he's-
Arthur Knight.
He's
now.
got two names. That's a badass name, dude. Arthur
In
Knight.
England, he jumped over
This
the
is
pond.
fake
and then
ass
he's like,
English name.
What you follow that man? I promise you, he's going to some lakes and looking around for a lady.
oh,
Okay.
oh,
Mhm.
yeah.
Well, he's married. He's married in Scotland
To the lady of the lake.
to a woman who is very defensive of the fact that this man is supposedly not Nicholas Rossi.
Yeah.
Uh,
Why would he be? I think because the big thing is that he was also suffering with a lot of COVID symptoms during
Yeah.
that time.
so he says.
Yeah, well, while he was in the hospital, someone came in and tattooed all of the previous tattoos that the other guy had on him.
What a dick move.
While he was in his COVID coma.
I can't.
I hate
I
that.
cannot
I hate
believe that. someone
It's like
would
one of
do
those
that.
one of those
I cannot
nurse
believe that.
TikToks. One of those TikTok nurses came up and tattooed all of those rapist tattoos on
She's
him.
giggling. She's like, "I'm gonna do this exact tattoo of all
And
these
and then they took his DNA and they said it matched or something. I don't fucking know.
They
It's
took some.
crazy.
Maybe it was because he was like fighting him at some point, and he had a little bit of the DNA under his like nails. He was fighting off the rape.
Whoever
Uh,
tattooed him maybe what they did is they didn't tattoo him. Is they took the tattoos off Nicholas's dead body.
Oh shit!
And grafted
it on. So when they're testing
like a
his DNA, they took it. They took out the skin that was grafted on.
Yeah, that'll
hold.
That's too bad. All I know is that he's really not. He does not want to get extradited right now because all of his interviews, he like has like a fake gas mask, and he's like, I could
got like an oxygen. Yeah.
He's like, I could barely stand. And he's like, oh no.
He's like a Batman villain because they're like interviewing him coming out of like a ambulance at some point, and everybody's like, the interviewer's like, how do you feel about like your upcoming trial or whatever? He's like, the game is afoot. The game is just beginning.
This man is insane. This guy rocks. He went to Scotland from New Jersey.
Oh yeah, he faked his death.
He faked his death and went to Scotland.
I think that
rocks, dude.
And
at
so,
that point, you're allowed to get away. Oh my god,
he's being
This
extradited.
is not how I expected him to look at all.
Oh yeah, he looks insane. He's being extradited to Utah though. And Arthur Knight, who is supposedly not Nicholas Rossi, has a lot of opinions on the Utah DA, who is trying.
Oh no! He's
It tries to
just
stand.
watched him try to stand. It is really too bad that they're ruining this poor man's life. Just out of nowhere.
He's got a lot of opinions on the DA, claiming that the DA is a baby eater and does a lot of
really tell from the
Satanistic
video. Is
rituals.
he trying to do an accent, or
Yeah,
is he like,
he's really doing a bad accent.
He's trying to like put on an accent.
It's like a Tim and Eric sketch.
It is. I think. Well, if you were a completely innocent man and the DA was hounding you from overseas.
Yeah, I mean, it's not me. I didn't do
I
that.
would have some bad opinions about him too. I would
dig up everything about him and say that he's a baby eater.
Arthur Knight starts going, and you know what? That Nicholas guy, I looked into it since everyone thinks I'm him. Doesn't seem like such a bad guy. Seems like people are maybe giving him a little too much shit.
Yeah, he starts.
But it's not really my place to talk about. I'm not involved.
Yeah. But I also think that maybe some of the cases brought before him might not hold as much water as everyone thinks they will.
My favorite thing I think about this is apparently how easy it seems to just fake your death. You just send a letter to like the Associated Press, and it just gets fucking put in the newspaper, and everyone's like, "Guess you fucking died."
Well, like if
guess he's fucking dead. It's like, what? No,
it ends up in the obituary. Most people aren't gonna like question it because it's like faking your death, you ruin so many different things. And it's also like getting new things is a really hard thing to do. So it's like getting like a new passport. I
guess
new
not for this
license.
guy, but apparently it caught up to him.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I'm impressed that he was able to do it at all.
Yeah, no, the fact that it is funny though that the fact that it's only been like 10 years since all this shit has like really gone down. Like he really did not last. That he really should have like stayed.
He got married. That's cool.
Yeah, good for him.
I hope they're happy.
I hope they are.
She seems to be very believing of him.
Yeah, as in
which I don't know if she's Scottish because she does.
Maybe
not
she has the
Scottish
exact same backstory, and that's why she's backing him up.
They're like Harley Quinn and the Joker.
You're just like, who's this? Her last name's Knight as well. Her name.
Well, I think he did take her last name in the marriage to kind of further the
confusion.
Separation.
Well, it's like, because that's the thing, like stuff like this probably happens not like a lot, but there's probably a lot of people that
a lot of people who aren't prolific rapists.
Yeah,
and
like I think a lot of people just like try to duck authority figures, and it's probably pretty easy when you're just a nobody. But now that there's so many eyes on this case, it's like he's so fucked.
Well, he's like such a clown that loves to talk to people as well. That it's like, you're gonna get caught.
He thinks it's gonna be like his 5 minutes of fame, and it's like, what? Like that's my thing is like, where do you think this ends? If you get on TV and you pretend to be a guy and you fall
King of Scotland.
That's
That's
somehow.
what he's getting to.
Yeah, he's got
Arthur
like,
Knight, yeah.
Yeah, that's the guy who he's like, I've got royal blood. It's in my name.
he's got it fucking flow charted.
Yeah,
in
like
his
they're
head.
coming after me because they know I contain the blood of the truth heir to the throne, and that I will rise to power in Scotland.
Trying to silence my reign.
Wouldn't it be really funny if he's like doing it and he's like able to get through, and then his old ways catch up with him, and he's like, yeah, Arthur Knight.
Well, once
raped
you're the
me.
king, you're allowed to rape. That's the whole
that's the
thing
law.
about being the king.
How else would the kings have their necessary bastard sons?
That's why, what's it called? That's why Queen Elizabeth stayed in power for so long, because she wanted the future kings to all be like basically impotent by the time that they got
Yeah,
born.
she's like, if I wait it out, they'll be old and their dicks won't work.
Yeah, and they'll try to rape, but it'll just be funny.
But apparently there is some credulity to the fact that the DA or whatever is potentially involved in certain ritualistic, like cult-like behavior.
That's
cool.
a whole other thing.
That's a whole, yeah, I know. That doesn't have anything to do with what he's doing, but he's like, hey, this
he might
guy
actually
is-
be a baby eater. Okay, I hate that. I hate that like nothing can ever be like, and we're solving this. Now let's move on to this. It's always like, well, why do you have to be a baby? Now we have to like.
Maybe
His name is
he
David
raped,
Levitt.
maybe everyone that guy raped was eating babies.
Yeah, and he was.
And then
Oh.
you don't feel so bad about it, do you?
Well,
Yeah.
he didn't really stop them.
He
from doing
actually.
that.
Well, no, they were about to
He
eat
was
a baby.
powerless. That's all he could do.
He has such a big schlong that what he did was he was like they were eating the baby. It was going down. He couldn't pull it out of their mouth.
my
I
So he
don't
stuck
either.
their
I
shit
don't
long
want
up
this
their
visual.
butt and spit the baby out.
That's fucking stupid.
The baby out like a pest
So
dispenser.
the penis go to the baby in the belly. So I just too lowbrow for me. I don't know why. I don't know why today that I have
This
to draw a
is too
line on
low,
that. Fucking woman they asked to shoot a baby out. Can't accept that.
Out of her mouth. Let's not mince those words.
She ate the baby whole.
Yeah. Have you guys seen that clown that hides from pedophiles though?
Yes.
Clown that hides from
Yes, I've
pedophiles.
seen
Yeah.
him a number of times.
Yeah, I was just hanging out with him the other day.
Damn. Thought that
Oh,
would
have you
work.
not seen him? Are you not?
No, I
familiar with
see
the
him
man?
all the time. I see nothing but him most of the time. But yeah,
You were just trying to get us with that.
I was
one.
just trying to get the crew with that one.
Hey, you want to hear something about pedophiles? Have you heard the Jack Harlow song "Gang Gang Gang"?
No, but I don't like Jack Harlow. So
Oh yeah,
Neither
he's
do we.
awful. But this song is very funny because there's only 2 verses in the song, but both verses describe Jack Harlow coming home for the holidays to see his old friends, and that they've done something horrible in their lives, and he's acting like shocked that they did this. So the first verse is about his friend Marcus, who he discovers has done 7 rapes when he
Yeah.
comes home.
oh, what a
And
great,
he's
awesome!
like, wait, which Marcus? Because it can't be. They're like, it's our Marcus.
Our Marcus.
And he's like, damn.
Damn, my bro, they got
Shit.
bought Pokemon cards with our Marcus.
Our Marcus, yeah, the one who loved Gardevoir.
He's got 7 rape charges. That's literally how the rap goes. Like our Marcus, our Marcus, 7 rape charges.
That's
That's Marcus.
And
But
then-
verse 2's Kevin.
Oh yeah, the verse 2, we get to a little known character called Kevin. And if you know anything about a guy named Kevin, you know what he's getting into.
Yeah,
You take
Ben
a guess?
10's Omnitrix.
Take a guess what Kevin might have done.
Kids.
Oh yeah. You
And if you were going to write a rap song where you found out someone you used to know was having a pedophilic relationship, what age would you make their victim?
I'd probably just set it around like 14.
10. They go 10.
He says 10, which I don't know how obfuscated he made any of these names or charges, but I feel like he was saying the real numbers on both of these. Not the real
Yeah.
names, I bet, but
Oh,
probably
yeah.
the real numbers.
Oh yeah, no, that seems like too specific. Like you can't unless those were like played into the rhyming of it. Then he might have changed those around.
That's fair. That's a good point, actually.
Jackson and I were listening to that song on the ride home from work last night. And just my takeaway was like, he's singing the song like, yeah, man, this is how it is when you go back home for the holidays. You see those friends you haven't seen for a
every
while.
time.
It's like, I don't know, man. I'm not finding out that my friends are doing rapes.
Yeah, also, like, who-
my teachers, yeah. Some of our teachers.
But, like, who are
I
you?
wasn't friends with them.
I feel like who are you hanging out with?
That doesn't got me shocked or anything.
Yeah.
where it's like three of them. Three of them were like not just like they did a crime, but they did like some of the worst crimes multiple times.
They did something genuinely fucking evil, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like at a certain point, it's like who
did you associate
who did you
with,
associate with, and what does that say about
the
you?
guys you bought Pokemon cards with? And you were boys
Yeah,
with them
bro.
up until you literally didn't know that they did this until you came home and somebody
Yeah.
told you. He's like, okay, I guess you maybe weren't that close friends with them,
Isn't
but
Jack Harlow like our age too?
yeah, no, he's like
So
20,
if
23,
he's like
24.
our age, that's like 4 years that they had apart, right? Like they had like 4 years apart for them to like do all this horrible stuff. So they were probably like showing signs of this like in high school or whenever he was hanging out with
Yeah.
I
them.
mean, I don't know.
Marcus was buying all the Lopunny Pokemon cards.
Lopunny. No, Marcus was buying all the Lopunny cards, and then Kevin was like, "Give me some of those
Give me some of
Bunny cards."
Well, he wants the what's the baby Gardevoir?
Rolts.
Ralts, yeah.
Yeah, he
wanted
wants the
cards.
Rolts. I was saying he wanted the Bunny cards because that's like the tinier Lopunny.
Yeah, good one.
Yeah,
I got it.
yeah. He's like, they always gave me their Charizard because they
my
were
boys
not
always
interested.
talking about Pokemon cards. They want to rape and touch kids.
So hard.
In their
Gardevoir.
they want to rape.
Gardevoir.
They want to rape these kids like
Rhymed
they're
with card.
Gardevoir.
Yeah, like how I want to rape Gardevoir.
That's
Whoa.
the very last line is like him telling his friends that he's done something horrible because you have two
My
verses.
boys,
third
I
verse-
ride with my boys.
I was
ride
telling
with my
Jackson that like if Jack Harlow ever gets canceled for some shit like that, then like a third verse is coming.
Oh, that'd be good.
It's like our Jack, yeah.
boys. Our Jack.
That's
The one who made Fat Stacks rapping. He did rape and pedophilism.
Pedophile.
pedophile. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a new ideology.
We're
I'm
working.
thinking
We'll
about.
workshop it. We'll workshop it.
with Jack on the phone in prison, and we're like, so what do you think about this? He's like, that's
Proposing a new verse for your song, Mr.
about
Harlow.
you because you're a rapist now.
you're a rapist now. You.
Like, well, I was a rapist before, but people know about it now.
Yeah.
I was a rapist at the time of writing that song. Actually, I'll have you know.
Yeah. I feel almost obligated to say after how people respond to the Nostalgia Critic, I don't think Jack Harlow raped anybody.
Yeah, people are not.
People is anybody like people who watch this or listen to this could be fans of Nostalgia Critic. That's fair.
Who's a fan of Jack Harlow? Yeah, he raped a guy.
A guy. Wow, that's progressive of him.
Isn't he bisexual?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I think he might have said that in a song. All I know is that him and Dua Lipa had a thing going for a little
That's
bit.
a lady.
Yeah.
Let's do some transvestigating.
Investigating for Dua Lipa, who's shown her cooch, basically.
But have you seen it?
That's a very tiny.
Could be fake. Could be a fake trans cooch.
Mm-hmm.
Could be one of them fake trans cooches they have to trick us.
Yeah.
trick us.
Trick us into being so attracted to
To
them
trick us into
sexually.
marrying them.
Cut that out.
I hate being turned on.
I hate.
Hey.
I hate
Hey,
falling in
you.
love. I hate falling in love with somebody.
pussy. Stop showing me your pussy. I want to see that penis.
Put that fake trans pussy
give
away.
me, let me see that penis.
Let me see
bitch.
that. Yeah, just a gay guy. He's like, ew. I don't know. I agree. But what do you agree with, Jackson?
I agree.
Speaking of things that we agree with, Jackson.
I don't think there's much we agree with on that.
Oh, I hadn't heard about that shit, but that's not. I didn't want to talk about that. What am I reading here?
What are you reading?
This one
man?
seems fun.
Oh yeah, you can read the article.
So, I don't know if you guys know anybody with cancer.
Yeah,
I do.
I'm sorry to hear that. but
but
you're not in a relationship with them, are you?
No.
no.
Well, if you were, what do you think you'd do if they were getting real bad?
That's tough because it's like you want to be by their side, but like, obviously they're going through
Fake
so
my
much.
death, move to Scotland.
That's fair. I think I might agree with that one.
Yeah.
But you would break up with them.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah. Yeah. Whoa, wait a second.
you just said that and I like just kind of agreed. No,
I mean, it
like,
depends on how deep I'm in this relationship.
if it's like 2 weeks and then it's like, yeah, I've got cancer, I think
it'd be better.
I think it's like you probably don't want me.
I'd be like, this is
hanging around.
kind of an uphill battle.
Well, no, but it's like you probably just don't want like me hanging around, like you barely know me, and then like I'm going into like chemo with you. It's like that's probably not like a good way to like start a relationship. But if you were like 2 years in, you have to. Like,
yeah, but where's your cutoff?
You have to.
Those
well,
are.
if you love them, yeah.
I don't think you have to, but if I love someone, it was dating them for 2 years, I would.
Yeah, but what about this other lady?
Well, there's a lady in England, I believe. She had left her boyfriend of I don't know. They haven't said how long they were dating.
It was a couple of years,
but he got a brain tumor, and so his cancer was taking a toll on her mental health, she says.
Yeah.
And so she broke up with him. But now she's running a marathon to help for brain tumor research. So she's being supportive from a distance.
Why is this? Are these famous people? Why?
No,
is
this was just an article.
This was an article, like an op-ed. So it's like she wrote about the fact that she was like, okay, my boyfriend got a brain tumor and that was really hard on my mental health. So I broke up with him. But because, I still loved him, I went out and ran a marathon and donated $50 to brain tumor research. Not to his specifically medical thing, but just like not to him to be like, here's help prepare with chemo, just to be like, yeah, I'm running. And she posted it and was like, I'm brave for doing this.
He's looking real rough.
Oh yeah, he's looking around. Look, I mean, if you
bad.
do break up with someone because of that, like, I get it. I'm not about shit, but like to like write up this article
to make it about you.
This is not about you. Cool that you did your run. Make the best choices for your mental health. But
it's also like something where if I did that for my mental health, I would be like ashamed. Like I would be like, I should not tell people about this. But she was like, it's empowering. Like
that's when you hold on. It's empowering.
I mean, it seems like they're still friends.
Well, that's the worst part. Is at the very end. Apparently, he like made it out to the race, and
he's like,
was
you go,
you go, girl. And I'm like, oh no! Not only is he
what the fuck is he supposed to do, man? He's
not,
probably happy that he survived the brain tumor.
Dump, leave. She's just like,
they're not in a relationship.
I know. I'd just be like, I don't want to talk to you ever again. Like what? You suck.
I don't know. I can't say if I don't agree with breaking up with him, but I also don't.
I would not go to the marathon that's donating money to like cancer research.
Brain cancer research.
But she raised like $50.
The most interesting part.
Yeah, I mean, I think they could still get along, but I'm definitely not like showing up to like events she's doing.
Yeah,
right?
no.
The most interesting part of this is after they broke up, she moved to Thailand for like a year for some reason
To help with their mental health.
What are you doing down in Thailand?
She's getting a bunch of prostitutes to help with their mental health.
Why are you moving with your dad to Thailand?
No,
CIA agent.
I don't like that. I don't like men going to Thailand.
She's with MI6.
Honeypot operation.
She was testing the cancer gun, the brain cancer gun on her boyfriend, and she had to get the heat off of herself for a bit.
I'm going to Thailand. I'm gonna lay low for a little bit.
Yeah,
and she pops up as
she had the brain cancer gun. She brought it home to do some work at home for a bit, and accidentally fired it directly into his skull.
Then she pops up as Beatrice Knight a couple of years down the line. She's like, oh, that's probably someone different. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry, my love. I will save you.
I'll save
doing
you
this marathon.
Yeah, that definitely helped. I think it's just funny though that like there is a guy who's suffering from brain cancer and has a lot of like money that he's probably needing to do that, to do all those treatments and stuff. And she's like, no, but I'm just gonna donate it to like the things that never actually kind of metastasize anything. They just kind of
Nice.
disappear.
Good, very cancer word.
Yeah, no.
Metastasize.
I thought that was kind of cool and along the lines of what we were doing.
I don't know if that's that means.
It means to like
shrink.
It means to like solidify into something.
Email us at brownbrickspodcast@gmail.com.
If you know what.
If you know what metastasize means.
Metastasize, man.
Because I think I'm confused.
I want to
on it.
metastasize those titties, girl.
Speaking
Yeah.
of metastasizing,
Oh,
pick
yeah.
a topic.
Did you guys
That's my
hear
segment.
about this Pinkerton situation?
No.
MTG?
What happened?
So
The Pinkertons are, what? They're
Pinkertons,
just the feds.
they're
right?
That's
hired
like a
muscle.
butler is a Pinkerton.
No,
A Mr.
I thought the
Pinkerton.
Pinkertons were like the FBI.
the Pinkertons are hired like muscle. So they're like union busting things where you go into a union, you break some kneecap. Like it used to, like they show up in like Red Dead Redemption by just being like the people that rich people could hire to be like, go kill those guys or like go like stop those guys from doing that. So basically, the story starts with this one guy. He bought some March of the Machine Magic the Gathering cards.
Big mistake.
And they sent him March of the Machine Aftermath Magic the Gathering cards. And they
Bigger
look
mistake.
almost the same, but the Aftermath means that it's a set that's going to come out in like June that hasn't been revealed at all. And he had like a really small YouTube channel with like 1,000 followers. And he's like, oh, cool. They sent me this early. I probably shouldn't have it, but I'm going to open it and show it on my YouTube channel because it's like a scoop.
That was his first mistake.
That was
No, that was his first success. He's a small channel. Fuck it, you ball.
Yeah, he's like, oh, this is awesome. And he didn't like steal it off the back of a truck. It was just
They
like
gave it to
they
him.
sent
Yeah,
him the
no, that's
wrong
fair.
thing.
Sorry, you fucked up.
Yeah.
Now it's leaking.
Yeah, he didn't sign anything.
Yeah, and so he's like, sweet. And so then a couple of days later, the Pinkertons come to this guy's door to get back the stolen like merchandise and like make his wife cry. And they're like, listen, you really don't want to do this with us. And they just like take back all of the Magic the Gathering cards. And they're like, we'll send you a couple of booster boxes for your trouble, but like we're gonna need those
Keep
fucking
it on the
cards back.
DL.
And so
But he already revealed like all the cards, right?
yeah.
Why didn't he?
It's
Should have
too
just. Why did he give him back?
because he's like, I don't want to be beat up by these guys because they
What?
are like, they're supposed to be people that are like intimidating, and they come to your door, and it's like, oh,
But
they're-
this is obviously a bigger story now. I feel like this is gonna blow back on Wizards of the Coast.
I think they thought that the guy wouldn't say anything. I think that they were just like, and then the guy was like, yeah, they
the
sent.
guy who blabbed about the cards you
The
fucking
guy who
sent him?
realized you fucked up saying the cards and immediately was like, "All right, we're open."
Cool.
You think-
I've got a small YouTube channel.
Yeah, what are you
Let's
gonna
ball.
do now? Kill him,
Bro, he's a small YouTuber. He's gonna milk this exchange for every view it's
Yeah, you've
fucking
given
worth.
him all the exposure.
That's what I'm saying. This guy's not fucked up. It's
Yeah, no. I just think that it's
The
very
simplest solution would have just been to copyright strike all of the stuff that he put out,
Yeah.
and then be done with it.
or email him saying like, hey, we sent you the wrong thing, can you please send, like, because they didn't, the big thing is that they never even sent him like a cease and desist, like an email that was like, hey, we sent you the wrong thing, we'd really appreciate it if you like take the video down. Like they sent him nothing. They literally just
Sent
sent a
some
guy to his
goons.
door that's like, I'm gonna kill you
Well,
unless you give me-"
honestly, I'm upset more that Wizards of the Coast doesn't employ wizards to do their dirty deeds.
Yeah, well, they could like curse him.
They
from
should send a
afar.
big gray bearded man with a robe,
I
staff.
and he has a big staff. He's like, "Give me back the cards."
and like
Relinquish your spells.
relinquish the legendary creatures.
Give me the tome
The
of March of
unspark-
the Machines Aftermath.
Aftermath. Colon aftermath.
Copy TM Magic
Or
the
face
Gathering.
the wrath of the coast.
the ghost. I do, because like even taking a step back, like we all like understand why it's like it's not why it's like they would not want to have that stuff leak, because it's like, oh, that, but like when you really take a step back, it's like literal children's toys that they're like, we need these back because you're gonna show these to people early.
Yeah, the Hot Wheels dropped a new collector set. And they accidentally sent it to a Hot Wheels YouTuber.
Yeah,
They're
if you
fuck
if you
shit.
if they sent like the mob after like a guy who got Hot Wheels early, and then he shouldn't be having those. Like that's
You're
a
not
similar.
allowed.
Like that's kind of how it should. Like that's how it kind of like is when you view it from like outside in, and especially because the story's been picked up by everything. Where they're like, why is like a toy company sending these guys after this guy? And it's like,
Why are they acting like a mob? What?
Yeah.
Why are they doing?
Why do they need to hire union busters to do this stuff? How do you even hire those union busters? It's like it is a lot of just like, why is there this free? Like, why are they the people in charge of this card?
I'm imagining that they did show up wearing like 1920s like gangster suits to this guy's door, and like I had like a Tommy gun.
I think it would
pointed down at him.
Well, no, I was hoping that he'd be like, and look what they did to my wall, and they shot like a Tommy gun thing that says like Wizards. Of
Yeah, the logo.
Yeah, they have the magic logo. That would be awesome.
That would be kind of fucking sweet, and
So
I would be okay with it if that's what they did.
So if they ever ship me early product ever again, I know not to open it on camera. It is just really funny to me that it's like you like sent this guy blabbed on the stuff that he got, and then you're like, this guy's clearly gonna be like,
and what are you even hoping to accomplish by getting the cards back? He showed them.
yeah, it's too late. They were on the channel.
Too late.
I've seen everything.
Every single channel
It's out there.
already went over. And like the thing with Magic the Gathering sets is leaks happen all the time. Like leaks happen, but the problem with this one in particular is it's like a 50 card set, so it's like way smaller than most sets are. So it's like the stuff that he leaked was pretty much the entire like actual thing. I don't want pickles. I appreciate it, but I don't want pickles.
Well, in a very similar story, I love the guy who stole like every secret rare from a Pokemon like printing center.
Yeah, no, that was.
And then tried to sell them in bulk.
He tried to sell all
Hell
of them
yeah.
at the same time to like.
That's how to do it. Clean and quick.
It's just
It
like,
was literally
what?
like a hobby store,
Yeah.
and so the hobby store was
It's
like,
like, oh no, yeah, this is only had to be acquired illegally.
it was quite literally like millions of dollars because he had a bunch of those like.
He went to a hobby store and sold millions.
Yeah, and he's like,
of
"Can you
dollars
just kick me
away. How
back?"
much money do you think they're gonna have?
It's like, can you just kick me back a milli? Because it's like each one of those Moonbryons that was like in near mint condition. Like pretty much every card in that stack was worth like $500, and then he had a bunch of other stacks that were like $100 cards.
Dude, you could have made so much just like making multiple accounts, selling from like PO boxes and shit, and just like actually doing it.
He could have just gone on TCG Player, listed all of his stuff,
but he
and
had
then
to cash out for some reason. I don't know why.
Instead, he was just like, "No, I need this. Like, I need this done quick. Where do I sell? How to sell cards?" And he was like, "Cool card shop. Do you want to buy these from me?" And they're like, 1 sec. And then they just called Pokemon, and they're like, this guy.
And then they called the CIA.
The funny thing is that like after this, a bunch of videos have surfaced of like they've basically been doing this for the entirety of like the Sword and Shield era. So like every Sword and Shield set is like just tainted by the fact that there was a stack of secret rares that was supposed to be in the set that just weren't in there.
So a lot of people are pissed.
Well, a lot of people are like, yeah,
give me one. and
like,
okay, well, that's not going to be worth anything now.
And like Evolving Skies in particular, that one was like so much money. It was or like Evolving Skies and Fusion Strike had like terrible pull rates, and everyone's like, I guess this just sucks. And then it's like, no, apparently, because that was like they only make like a box of those.
Yeah.
So there's only ever like maybe like 1,000 of those cards in circulation ever, but it's like, or like 10,000 probably, just because those are like the super, super duper special cards. And if you took like a chunk of them, like that's a good amount of those cards that's never going to like actually see the light of day.
Never going to see the light of day.
So I just found that really funny. I was like, holy shit.
Well, what'd they do with them once they reacquired them? Destroyed them?
I think they just, I don't know actually. I think, well, they just sent out like a generic thing that was like, it definitely didn't affect pull rates, and don't worry about
That's
it.
such cap.
Yeah. It's like, it was really funny because like,
how was this guy doing this anyway? Because like
he just worked on the factory line, and then
but
he just
like nobody was supervising. Was he a supervisor?
I assume there was like probably enough people that are like, yeah, you can take a couple of cards, and then
like he takes a pallet home.
Well, he probably takes a couple every day, and then he's just like, he just does it where he constantly takes a little bit, and there's probably like a pervasive thing in that printing thing where it's like, yeah, you can take a couple of cards to like sell again. It's like, oh, this guy has like a long box.
Damn, this guy had the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory in, and he had to ruin it for everybody.
Yeah, legitimately.
Now it's not going to be allowed for you to take a little card home with you.
Maybe the other guys were taking like maybe just a couple.
That's what I
selling
thought.
them smart.
I was thinking
And
about
now this guy
whereas,
blew
like,
this whole thing up.
those guys probably had like TCG
dickhead.
player accounts where they would like
Because
sell.
if this guy's doing this and got caught, there's got to be at least a handful of people with the same job where like I'll grab one or two.
Yeah, and
They'll
so it's
collect
like
their money.
every new set, like every couple of months, you make like a couple $100 by grabbing a couple of the really nice cards, selling them, and then like leaving. But this guy's like, I'm gonna be a millionaire, and then he's like, I did it, and then it's like, oh god, no.
And then he's probably going to federal prison for longer than the amount of time you'd get for doing rape.
Well, if you start like looking at how much that actually would like cost their company, and it's like if they actually prosecute this guy and like start being like, well, how much did you steal really? And they start like looking at like the market value of it. He's gonna be fucked. Like
That if it came to that, and I have to imagine there'd be an argument over like how the card should actually be valued.
yeah, because
Right. Because
introducing
like how much they go on the secondhand market is like not how much like the Pokemon company would make off selling those cards.
yeah,
And if I was in a jury of his peers, I'd say let him go.
yeah, I'd
he's
be
fine.
like, fuck it, I don't know, it's Pokemon cards.
Give him a $200 fine.
Let him go and let him keep the card.
Yeah, give me a couple of those.
Let him go and
hand him over.
Can I see him real quick? And then I put him in the jury.
A
of his
member of the
peers-
jury, he gets off innocent. A member of the jury is seen competing in a Pokemon tournament.
Yeah, with really nice shiny cards.
Damn.
He's like, you're playing with your alt art Gengar VMAX, and you're like, yeah, I just like how it looks.
I want to be the guy that interviews like people who are being added to juries to see whether they're fit. And in this jury, I'm like, do you know what Pokemon is? And they're like, no, not. I mean, I've heard the name. I'm not familiar. I'm like, perfect. You're in.
that is
You're
actually
the guy
how
I
they
want.
probably have to do it, because like if
Pokemon Go fucked that up for a lot of people though.
Yeah.
Some people are like,
It's like, do you know what a card game is?
Yeah.
How much do you think a card should be worth in a card game?
yeah, no, they're gonna show them like a card, and then they're gonna be like, how much do you think this is worth? And they're like, I don't know, like 10 cents, and then it's like, cool, come on it.
Get it.
But like that is literally like you could probably
That's my 12 Angry Men situation where I'm just like, fuck no, we don't say he's guilty. We're staying here until he's innocent.
But I'm yelling about the fact that he probably reduced pull rates on stuff, and I'm the last guy.
Everyone's like, what the fuck is he
Everyone's
talking
talking about not guilty.
everyone's just tired. Like as soon as one of you lets up, they'll all go the other side.
Yeah.
This is stupid. It's fucking Pokemon cards. Jack's like, people love Pokemon.
Yeah, it's
they were cheated out better polls.
You don't know how much money that I people spent on all of these different fucking cards.
Think of them.
Think of the children too,
Think
who
of the
had to wake up
kids.
on Christmas morning and couldn't even pull the cards that they wanted.
Couldn't
because
even potentially get one.
Every card in that stack is a child who did not get a good Christmas. Think about it like that.
Oh my god, so convincing.
Imagine that kind of brat who gets a pack of Pokemon cards and then doesn't get like the super rare shit and be like, this is the worst Christmas ever.
Yeah,
It's tough.
that is because the parents don't know. They just go to Target and they're like, this is probably the good one, and this one looks good, and then they put it under the tree, and then the brat's like, I didn't pull any. The 6-year-old's doing the card trick where it's like you can slow roll it and the super rare ones in the back, and he's just cracking them open doing that, and he's like throwing all the comments to the side. He's like, this fucking sucks.
Boo.
He's like, there's no value in this Elite Trainer box.
Boo.
That is unfortunately how a lot of kids have become with Pokemon, because I do remember.
It's all too gamified.
Well, I think because especially with like hobby stores, the way that I remember there was like a bunch of kids at the hobby store that I was in back in college that would like go whenever they pulled something really nice and just like sell it back to the hobby store. And they'd sell it back for like store credit to give more shit. But it's just always really funny to me that I'm like, oh, as a kid, I was just like, this is a really cool car. And they're like, how much is that worth?
Yeah.
Like,
I'd be like, I'm keeping my cool car.
And I was even like that. I was like, you don't want to keep that? It's cool.
I would roll in with all the energies and be like, how much are these worth? I play a different rule set that doesn't utilize these.
I just play big number, yeah.
They're just
big
like,
number win better.
Big number, big damage, big wins.
Yeah, they're like, well, huh?
Big pussy.
Fuck you.
This is a homebrew version of Pokemon.
I'm leaving.
One of my favorite memories is like me and Carter were like, we're gonna go to a Pokemon tournament, and we didn't play Pokemon in a way that resembled the actual game at all.
Yeah.
So like basically the night before I was like, oh shit, you need energies for stuff. So I just started throwing in energies in my favorite cards. I'm like, this will be good. And my dad was concerned that there's going to be like Satanists there. So he's like, you can't go. And Carter comes in the thing and he's excited because he's got his deck and he's like, check this out. And he's like, so Infernape mentions that you need to discard 8 energies from it in order to do that. So I put 8 energies into my deck. And that should probably make the attack good.
Just 8 energies in there.
He's just put 8 in there because he's like, that's all you need. It says that you need to discard the energies, so like we'll do that, and
We'll
then
just have it.
then it just plays like we play. It's normally, and then you just got to do that thing.
That's so easy. Card games are so easy when you
Pokemon's
disregard
so
all the rules.
Yeah, But I just always thought that was a funny moment.
Mhm.
That's. Yeah, and now I'm just like wondering about ratios of like 10 to 11 energy.
Ratio
Ratio plus L
L.
plus you just listened to the Brown Bricks podcast.
Thanks for listening, folks.
Bye.
And we will see you next time.
Email us at brownbrickspodcast@gmail.com.